Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Another day of the ESL Pro League and a new host as well. I'm Machine. I'm going to be guiding you through this one. We are live from the Intel Esports Arena. And this is where, of course, you're going to be your one-stop shop for everything Counter-Strike, and we're going to be getting our head into the game in just a moment's time. I say our head. I'm not alone here in this, what looks like a kind of a Bond villain's lair. It's gorgeous. Guys, you're the veterans, of course, joining me, who are no strangers to the studio. We have Yanko and we have Chad. So, guys, anything I need to know about this place other than, like, this is where dodgy dealings are made?
Don't take your pants off.
Except if it's a Friday. It's no pants Friday.
So Friday is pants day. Okay, I can't remember that. Outside of that, you know, has everyone got, you know, everything they need? Perhaps, you know, suitcases, clothes, everyone got everything?
Yeah, good one.
How you feeling, Chad?
Funny you should mention that.
I'm going to be starting a silent protest against Air Berlin until my bag is returned. You guys, you can join me if you want. Henry as well. Matt is also
How do we
invited.
silently protest an airline?
We grow our beards because my electric razor is in the suitcase.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so we're going to, as a show of solidarity, Yanko.
You can see Henry's results after a year or so. it's gonna take a while for him. But I don't know why we're even flying a bankrupt company.
Okay.
Because it's a cheap ticket.
It was a cheap ticket.
They don't guarantee your luggage.
Just listen to how good it was going, right? I jump on the plane. I get the ticket. I think it was like 300 Australian, so that's nothing. And then I had an entire row to myself. Not just like a two-seater or a four.
Oh, did you have a full lie down?
I slept the entire way. You know, 7 hours of sleep. Get off the airplane feeling real good. Gotta get my bag. Carousel stops.
You were in such a good mood.
Yep.
Oh,
and it was a Sunday in Germany, Alex. You know better than anyone. You can't buy anything, can you?
Things don't happen on Sundays in Germany. You can go to the park. That's pretty much it. And even the squirrels aren't there.
It's
They're
probably
taking a day
raining.
off.
And not Wunderbar.
No. Oh, nicht wunderbar.
Alles gut?
Okay, we're going to go away from the German and we're going to go into the standings. That's our plan for now. We're going to go ahead and bring them up on your screens. We start with North America, so we can kind of take a big deep breath and inhale as we kind of understand where everything is at. It's interesting to see Misfits, you know, head and shoulders above the likes of SK, same amount of games played, Optic at the top. Is there anything else leaping off the page before we venture into our specialty here, Chad?
No, I think Cloud9 being down the bottom is one of the ones that you're not expecting right now, but this team has had a few teething issues going on early, looking a lot better now. Tarek's in-game leadership working wonders in recent times.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see when the Asia minor is going to be announced, just so whether Renegades will actually be able to play the finals if they qualify. But yeah,
and into Europe, of course. This is where our primary domain does lie. Here, live from Copenhagen, we have Fnatic at the top of the table. North FaZe, big, probably is one that a lot of people are interested in seeing where they do end up. Heroic, Astralis. And then you start wondering where on earth the Ninjas, NaVi, Envy, Mouse, and HellRaisers. We're going to be seeing quite a lot of that bottom half of the table playing today, Chad.
Yeah, I think the NaVi one is a really interesting topic. We've got them first up this evening, and the fact that, you know, I think a lot of people were just expecting Zeus to join the roster and them to be amazing based off that whole Gambit run at the major, but it looks like they've got some issues early. It's going to take them a while to adjust, and at the moment, Simple's the only factor for that squad, so hopefully we can see that changing.
Well, we'll be talking more about that when we do get to that game. Let's just hold our horses on the NaVi train, because there is so much to be talked about with NaVi. In fact, you know what? At ESL 1 last year was where they did thrive, and using the hashtag ESLCS, you can talk about how the most recent edition of ESL 1 has changed your feeling about how this one's going to go down, how your outlook is on the standings, and how the Pro League will look, the Pro League finals will shape up. I mean, do you guys feel like things have changed for you, Yanko, now you've seen what's happened over in New York?
I mean,
there's one team name I feel like a lot of people are going to be talking about.
Yeah, I mean, FaZe this year has just been absolutely dominant. I think that's them probably hitting their peak. It's good in that interview that Kerrigan gave after the tournament, saying, yeah, this is just us, you know, everyone playing great, everyone being on point individually, and him being aware that they still have issues they need to work on. You know, it's not going to happen every tournament that everyone's performing out of their minds individually, so they really need to have some structure and a good foundation to fall back on.
Yeah, I was one who was a little bit skeptical when this roster first came together, right? We
in
saw him in
Malmö,
I was just questioning, you know, whether this was going to work. I thought there was potentially too many big egos within the team, maybe people not willing to give up ground. But
they lost 4 anti-eco rounds in that game against Gambit. I mean, the Cider third map, they lose 4 times versus Pistols. Yeah. It's like, come on, guys. Like, if anyone knows how Pistols can be, you know, detrimental for you, it's you. So I think that was, for me at least, more of an outlier than like a telling sign of what's going to happen to FaZe.
That thing in New York, though, you don't expect a dominant tournament victory like that, right?
Have we seen a dominant that dominant run.
We were having a discussion at the event, right? And people were talking about, during the NIP days. But we don't even reference the NIP days. Like, that kind of happened, but it's so long ago, and that was the beginning of the game.
And there's a lot of caveats to the NIP days as well.
Whereas talking to your little cousin next to a fireplace, you know, about the glory days.
Yeah, but no, I think that's probably one of the most dominant tournament victories we've probably ever seen in CSGO.
Yeah, well, I mean, we were talking more about how our Fantasy League predictions are going to be shaping up over, of course, those standing now after we've seen what ESL 1 New York did do. Now we'll check in with those Fantasy League now. I think we have an opportunity to do that. Do we have it up on our screens?
Yeah, look, there's a couple of things I just want to note
I'm not
here.
part of this. I'm not part of the cool crew.
You can still join. I came second last season, and I'm currently second last. So I think this is rigged. But Yanko's in first place, so Yanko actually, like the rest of us, probably hasn't changed his team since week 1.
What did you go for, iNation?
Oh, he's got you got 5 players. I thought you went for the 4-player strat early.
It was, but I saw the flaws in it. I didn't come out on top, so I figured, listen, it's time to go for the full 5-man squad. Look at the matchups, who's playing the most games, who has the easiest opponents, and it was mostly Optic Gaming last week that we had. But I'm sure somehow I'm not in the first place, Chad, because you tend to change the rules as they go.
Sorry, what happened to DreamHack Malmo was a miscommunication between us in production. Things were fixed and we're all good. Henry coming third is something I don't really care about Harry. I hope I didn't click the ad then.
How's he doing? Okay, so
he's gone the SK strategy.
Brazil.
Yeah, I went the SK strategy as well, but it hasn't panned out for me.
It's very difficult to have all of the players even if they win like 16-2, there's only so many frags that go around.
Is it exclusively frags that distribute it?
I mean, not exclusively.
More, yeah.
It's obviously round wins as well. Like if you win by a bigger margin rate, you get more points. So there's lots of different factors that go into it. And this is my lovely team that isn't really doing a lot, which is upsetting.
Why did you not put a 5th?
So it's expensive to get 5 players, Alex.
Okay.
So I went the route of getting the 4 best SK players, and I thought these guys are just going to destroy everyone in the region, and I get a lot of points. Hasn't worked.
Yeah, also a slight backhand to Taco as well, just saying, look, mate, I need 4.
But he's the support player, Alex, He's not meant to get all the kills. That's meant to be for everybody else. He gives up his share of that.
I am out of interest when I know what Moses put.
Oh, of course, the bald eagle.
I'm sorry, we will get out of this. I'm just actually quite enjoying this game. Who's in the
Jason's
squad?
Team.
Was it Brazil as well?
Yeah, no. He got Guardian, Elish, Fur, and Simple. He went the 4-man strat as well.
Okay. Just choosing huge names that are expecting to do a lot of fragging. All of these names as well, if they do make the top of the Pro League, going to be heading over to the Pro League finals, as well as perhaps you guys as well. Now, it's in the city of, and I'm going to butcher it.
We can teach you.
I thought it was like Odense. Odense. Tom Eric said it to me. He told me how to say it.
So it's O-H.
Oh.
It's more like a ooh. And then Den, D-E-N.
Yeah.
But you say it more like then.
Oden.
Ooh.
Uden.
Sir.
The city of Odense. Was that good?
Not really. But
there's a Dane in the corner. Can I get a nod? Okay.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Almost there.
Odense. The city of Odense. That's what I'm going to call it for now. But that's where the finals are being held over here in Denmark. And actually, the city itself is worth checking out as well. Not only could you come for the Counter-Strike, if you want to plan a weekend, there's lots of stuff. There's a lot of technology there, some robotics. But I'd check out some of the robotics of the city. I mean, when you come to a CS event, there's a lot that happens outside of the arena as well. Like, the likes of New York, Katowice. There's lots of fun to be had.
You could be the first cyborg analyst, Chad, if you'd like.
Oh, what can I get replaced?
An arm.
Yeah, I could do that.
Why would
Maybe
you
I
put
get my
the
mouse
cyborg
sound.
up?
I get my mouse sound replaced. I'll be like Scream. Maybe,
Okay.
Yeah, but maybe a little bit better in current form.
And an eye as well, be like Kano.
Is that from Mortal Kombat? Yeah.
I see. I didn't do that. I was thinking more about what's the guy?
Kano.
It's not Kano, is it? It's the dude with the eye. Deadeye.
I just hope that they have mobile pay.
What's that?
You just text message money to people.
That's not a thing.
Yeah, they got it in Sweden.
All right. Well, anyway, we're going to get back on topic because you're here to talk about Counter-Strike, and we are too. Now, we have got some games for you. Let's go ahead and bring up today's games so we can show you exactly what we're going to be talking about across our first and, of course, the secondary stream. We have been given the gift of HR versus NaVi to start this one off. Overpass Inferno, the maps. Following that, we'll be jumping into the Danes North, taking on Mouse Sports. Lots to be talked about in both of these affairs. Over on the B stream, just briefly, you have a French battle. They'll be clashing. It'll be the battle of LDLC and Envy. And following that, you do get to see Fnatic take on Heroic. Heroic, indeed, have been doing fantastic so far in the league. Intriguing to see if they can keep that up versus opponents such as Fnatic.
Yugi's a bit of a beast. I don't know if you've seen... You obviously saw Fnatic at Malmo. But in Pro League Online, Golden well, not even just in Pro League, in all of their matches online, Golden
Really?
has been like a standout player. Not only has he like reshaped the team as an in-game leader and given them some structure and making them look dangerous, he as like an individual is like a huge upgrade on any in-game leader they've had in the past, I would say, from a fragging perspective. And I think it's opened up players like Crims to be a lot more versatile. You actually see Crims entry fragging when he's usually known as more of a slower player.
So what does this mean? Golden is taking some of the reins of Crims. He's actually doing more of that consistent, more of that backbone
It just seems like
stuff.
everyone's doing everything.
Oh,
They're not so
interesting.
rigid anymore, or at least one-dimensional.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm intrigued to explore the dimensions of our first two teams as they do prepare to clash. Yanko, HellRaisers, NaVi. Now, we started pulling on the NaVi thread. We may as well return to it. But just for those, the uninitiated, the unaware, what this story for NaVi has been quite a topsy-turvy adventure.
Yeah, true. I mean, the change last year was Zeus being removed from the team in order to bring in Simple. They felt like they needed more firepower. Starix, the coach, was supposed to in-game lead the team, but the coaching change happened shortly after. They had troubles finding a leader, both in and outside of the game. It was Cease. He couldn't really, manage to do that properly. His individual performance fell off as well. So after the major, they bring Zeus back. Now they have a proper leader. Zeus Cease is back in his role as well. But the problem is they didn't really have that much time to just practice. It was Malmo. Then they had to play E-League. After that, it was New York. So tournament after tournament. Yeah. And you know that Zeus, with his methodical play style, micromanaging the players a little bit, they are going to need that time. We saw it with Gambit even. It took a long time before they were really a perennial playoff team. So it feels like, yes, for now it's around Simple, and Simple needs to make plays if they're going to win most of the time, but you do expect them with time to become more consistent.
And just on top of that, the Betway odds we saw, I think, reflect that because it was quite close. It was $1.70 for NaVi, and I think it was $2.05 for the guys from HellRaisers to show that, hey, like NaVi aren't a clear favorite in this matchup.
Especially on Overpass.
Yeah, which is a map, which you historically would say is a really good NaVi map. But what we've seen out of HellRaisers recently is the way that they're approaching the game. It looks like it's going to take Angel a while to get them to make those mid-round calls, crisp every time. But we did see some promising signs, especially in a matchup. I think it was week 2 where they were just, getting an entry kill on Overpass on the T side and then just waiting and getting anybody going for information plays and closing out those rounds really quite well. So if there's any over-aggression from NaVi, they can get punished for that.
But, I mean, what do you make of HellRaisers as a whole? I mean, we talk about NaVi having some roster troubles, but, I mean, they've lost 2 players. They've managed to go scavenging and come back with some FPL.
They had a topsy-turvy summer of their own. I mean, Bondig being on the transfer list, apparently that's a thing as well now in CS. And, bringing 2 guys from FPL, Voxic, who's now the main opera of the team, and he's been actually signed officially for the team, and you have Issa, who is still, I don't think it's trial. I think it's just a stand-in.
Yeah.
But they've had some decent results recently online. Qualifying for DreamHack Denver, they made it to the second phase of the Epicenter qualifier. And so on. In Pro League, mixed results. We saw that game against North, where they managed to make a big upset, but also some underwhelming performances. So they're really all over the place at the moment.
It's just a tough question, isn't it? When you see, like, the likes of Sticko got poached, and I think everyone was kind of wondering, like, of all the players to choose Sticko, he seems to be flourishing in Mouse Sports. He seems to have found a role he didn't have in HellRaisers.
I think they picked him because he can kind of do everything. He's a jack of all trades. He can be that secondary AWPer if you need him. He's more than happy to be a supportive player. Also has his moments where he can be the star player. So I think, having a guy like that in your squad who can be that versatile in a team like Mouse Sports, which LNBT obviously wants to build a lot of structure around, makes sense. That's the direction they want to go as a team. But the hole that it's left in HellRaisers, like, we talk about these guys at the start of the season as they just have to fight stay out of relegation. Not every team can be in the top 6, right? That's just not the way it is. And I think these guys, if they finish middle of the table, that's an achievement for them. I think they're more than happy qualifying for these DreamHack Denver style events and then putting up a good fight and then just grinding. And I'm sure the organization's more than okay with getting good players and then selling them for a lot of money. So.
Okay. So in your mind, HellRaisers, it's not a battle for the top. It's not a battle to beat the cream of the crop. Instead, it's just a battle of survival.
Survival of the fittest.
But I mean, these guys have been kind of stuck in this limbo for a while now. You look at like Dead Fox, Zero. These were like some young players who were like, oh, here we go, time for them to break out onto the scene, and we haven't quite got to see. I mean, mostly moments. Dead Fox had that ridiculous, 40-something frags at E-League.
Yeah, we only see bursts, right? For example, at the E-League qualifier, that was a huge upset, but it ended up being an overperformance from them more than anything else, because at the major itself, they really have fallen flat. And, the Dead Fox moving away from the AWP seems to be one of the issues, in a sense that he never really wanted to be the primary AWPer, but he had to pick it up. He wasn't comfortable with it, but he's not being dominant with the rifle now that he had, that he has given up the AWP. So you wonder well, did he have more impact when he was actually the main opera of the team, and whether he can, be the star player with just a rifle, or they need to pick up someone with more firepower.
Okay, well, from hell to hole, the hole that Guardian left in NaVi, Chad. I mean, this was always a conversation for a lead. Let's use New York as an example, because that was where we've seen their drop off, rather dramatic drop off. They lift the trophy there. Eventually, you can see this kind of, well, look, eliminated in groups in 2017, New York, 14th in Pro League. DreamHack, they measly 5th to 12th, and E-League 9th to 12th as well. Like, this was quite a dramatic fall-off before the loss of Guardian.
Yeah, I think the DreamHack one is they lost to NIP. I think it was 2-1. The series it wasn't that close. Only map they won was Train. And then they were in that group with G2 at E-League, I believe, right? It was G2 and FaZe. So that was a pretty tough group, to be fair to them. But I think the issue for this team is, at least when they had Guardian in the roster, there was the idea that you could have a trio of Guardian, Flamey, and Simple. Simple is the all-rounder who can do everything. He's highly aggressive. Flamey is the rock of the team. He's able to anchor bomb sites and clutch. And then you've got Guardian, who's meant to be the star AWPer. And that trio seemed like, hey, if these three hit their peak at the same time, this team's going to win regardless. You've got Edward being supportive. You've got C's being supportive. It all just kind of worked. Now the issue is, if Simple's the main AWPer, who's your entry fragger, right? Does it fall to Zeus? Do you get C's to do it and just be a martyr, get him to run in and open up the bomb site for the other guys to come in behind him?
So is Flamey not a part of that conversation? You want him coming in second and cleaning up?
I don't think Flamey, like on the CT side is where I recognize more of Flamey's plays, right? I think, as a bomb site angle, it always comes to mind like Cobble or Overpass with him on the B sites.
You just put him on the statue.
Just mowing them down, right? I think he probably has the potential. If you get Simple and Flamey and you're throwing good flashes and Molotovs to clear the close choke points for them, they could do a lot of damage. Mirage is a map that comes to mind. But if you only have the duo as your entry pack, then what do you have left, right? You need to hope that Edward can step up and be the star that he once was in 1.6. He's another player we see burst from, right? But you're never going to expect a consistently high ceiling from him. Zeus within that team of Gambit, sure, he was in-game leading, but I think, there's a lot more going on in that team than any of us really know. So whether we can give him full props for their ascendancy to the major champions, that's another question. And then Seized, he's been in limbo for a year now. I think since they got rid of Zeus, he had to take over the in-game leadership role. He looked really uncomfortable. He was playing a lot of rotator positions. Cobblestone on B as the drop player, he just always looked out of position. Secondary AWPing, I'm not super confident in him. He can hit a shot when he needs to, but I think he's a player that you can be critical of, and he needs to get back to some form. Okay. It's just weird.
So a current analysis of where NaVi stand, Yanko. I mean, you can kind of add to this, but in terms of bullet points, it is time is the first thing they need. Of course, Zeus has to try and do what he did before. C's needs to find his form again. We've lost that. And I mean, what else do you want to add to that list? Is it just a question of, waiting to see whether we get the old school NaVi, or is it ever coming back?
For me, it's just time is the main one, because everything else comes with time if you can figure it out. I'm sure Zeus has a plan for it. And, I think sometimes people perhaps overestimate the entry fragger role. In a sense, it's not as clear-cut as maybe some people think. It's not every single round. You have a set piece, and then you have a guy who's being flashed in and coming in first, and his main job is to just create the space for the team to penetrate the bomb site, right? But a lot of the times you're going to have a default round spread around the map, and read the defense. And when you read the defense, sometimes Simple will be the entry fragger. Sometimes it will be Zeus. Sometimes it will be Edward, depending on, where you want to penetrate, what's going to be your point of entry, and how are you going to try and end the round, basically. So I think we've seen recently with how much some of these teams are skilled, that you really need to be able to do a lot of things as a player. You can't just say, I'm a lurker, and that's it. And, you have to put me in a position to lurk, and that's where I can be useful. And any other situation, I'm going to,
were we ever there, Chad? Do you think, the genesis of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, did we have people in very one-dimensional roles? And has that kind of expanded as the game has? In terms of I'm a lurker, I'm going to be the sniper of the team exclusively.
I don't know if across the board of all teams it was ever like that, but there's some people that stand out, right? NIP during the not the glory days, but that limbo period. Get Right just was very rigid in being the lurker. Hiko's another one that comes to mind as being just a lurker, right? That's all he was really known for. Clutching as well is another thing that usually comes with that. But it was just, you had that kind of, I guess maybe I'm
talking about entry fragging as well. Was it more clear cut before? Have we we moved away from that in any way?
I think that opens up a bigger discussion on, are we in the point right now where there's a meta shift, right? Because obviously towards late last year and early this year with Astralis and SK, we had teams that had a lot of structure and were really good at mid-round decision making and having good protocols, right? So they had their structure, everybody knew their jobs, and from there they could do whatever they needed to with whatever was thrown at them. Now we're getting to a point where if you look at a team like FaZe, if FaZe is going to be the Counter-Strike that we have going forward, it's going to be really messy for us as analysts because if Nico just runs in and gets 2 entries onto a bomb site and that is just Counter-Strike with loose structure, then it's like Yanko's saying, there's no real roles at that point.
So basically you're talking about 2014, 2015 when Fnatic was the best team in the world.
Yeah, when we just had a lot of that.
Pits and troughs. Yeah, we're going to be going.
It's like fashion.
It is.
The jeans nowadays, everyone's wearing the baggy jeans. I don't think.
Well, I know people are wearing jeans. What trousers? They're wearing pants.
What do you
They're
mean?
wearing. Just not like Friday, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
Yeah. Anyway, back into the topic at hand. That's where I want to start trying to navigate this one. You said the odds from Betway weren't necessarily as clear-cut. I want to know if you guys have any sort of expectations for how this one's going to be going down. I haven't got the maps in front of me. I'm just going to double check.
Overpass
is first.
So Overpass, and what was the second? Was it Cobble? Inferno, actually. Okay. Interesting.
the thing is for me, Alex, I follow Zeus on Instagram, and I don't know if it's completely up to date. But it looked like he was having a lovely extended holiday after New York. I think he went over to because they went over to the HyperX office on the...
In LA, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he
okay.
stayed a little bit, unless he's just updating his Instagram story late, which is possible. You can do that. So I don't think he's played too much Counter-Strike in the last week. However, like I was saying, I don't think he's one of the key fraggers of this team. I'm sure Simple has over 200 hours. So I feel like NaVi should still be in the driver's seat here, but I think it's going to be a close game. You know, I think we could be going the whole 30 rounds.
Damn.
Henry loves some good Counter-Strike, so I know he's ready to cast it.
Oh, absolutely. No, I know he's chomping at the bit. He's a big fan of Seized as well, looking to see what he can do on the server. Yanko, what about you?
Overpass is probably the best map HellRaisers could get. I mean, in their win and even in their loss, I think on the map, seeing them play online, they know what they're doing, right? They know how to approach different situations. They also have a couple of rounds on the T side where they speed things up, change the pace. So it's going to keep NaVi guessing. So I feel like if HellRaisers can get a good start, because they need to have some room for mistakes, then they can put up a good fight here against NaVi.
It's certainly not the NaVi Overpass that we grew to love at one point last year. It's a very new iteration from what you guys are saying. Now, apparently we're waiting for the NaVi coach to get his bum in his seat and into the server, so we're not going to be jumping into gameplay just yet.
Kane has been a pain.
Oh, I like it. I mean, you know what? With him not being there, it is a good discussion to explore, albeit briefly, while we do wait for him. Because the fact of the matter is that it wasn't just Zeus that was part of this this mix-up, this roster shuffle. It was also Kane came with a bit of a package deal, Chad.
Yeah, so before Zeus was gone from the team, weren't they booting Kane anyway? Isn't that what happened?
I think it was a question of Zeus saying, I need Kane.
If Kane is out, I'm out, basically.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
It feels like, I don't know how much truth there is to that statement. It feels like something convenient to say why you changed why you left the team just after you won a major.
We might have to get on VK and use that translate button to see if there's anything on there.
There's always a good statement on there somewhere.
Love a good bit of VK. But I don't know, like coaching-wise, it's so hard when it's not someone that speaks English to ever have a dialogue, right? So we never really get to talk to those kind of coaches to find out where their head's at. When you talk to like an LMBT, his English is
fantastic,
great, you know, so you kind of get a good scope. But I always have this question, or not a question, it's like coaches all bring different things. So what does Kane bring for Zeus? Obviously, it's comfort, right? He must do things the way Zeus likes it. They're not going to argue too much, I would assume. Or maybe he does the prep work the way Zeus likes him to do it. I think, you know, your coach and your in-game leader need to be a team, right? They need to get along. And that obviously is the case here if the whole Zeus wanting Kane in the Gambit situation is true.
I mean, it's a two-edged sword, right? I mean, I think they need to, like, get along to it. They have to have like mutual respect. But if they get too friendly, then it's like, well, what's the role of a coach if he's just going to, you know, agree with everything the in-game leader says? He has to be there during a game or even during practice to say, hey, like, this is wrong. Like, your call was bad. Like, you cannot call that. You know, it can't always be the player. Sometimes, I mean, not, you know, there's always going to be a situation where you're wrong as the in-game leader, where you made the wrong decision. But just as the players can make individual decisions within the round, that's how you need to also accept you making some wrong calls and work off of that. And if that doesn't happen, and the players can see it, and the coach is just, you know, backing him up when he's wrong, then that creates animosity between the players, and not just the in-game leader, but the coach as well. And, you know, I think accountability is very important within a team.
Actually, you know, I was thinking about this. It's very interesting you mentioned it in Mykonos when I saw how the way Zeus interacts with his players for Liquid, right? Like, I mean, it does feel like he is one of the players in sense of that, you know, he goes everywhere with them, does everything with them. And I did kind of internally wonder whether or not there does have to be a separation at one point if you are going to be an authority figure within the decision-making process.
You definitely have to be the bad guy, right? Like, I would much prefer, from my experience as an in-game leader, I'd much prefer it to come from the coach telling my players off as opposed to me. Like, if it's something in the middle of the game, you never, like, obviously practice matches are practice, but you don't want to disrupt a game by, like, going all in on someone. Say if Yanko did something dumb and I went all in on the middle of the game. Like, that's just going to ruin the rest of the practice. It's good if the coach can take notes of that. We can sit down after. We can break it down as a team. And it's coming from the coach. So as the in-game leader, you're never the bad guy, right? And I think that's kind of what you want. With the whole Zeus thing that you're talking about, I think you can probably get to buddy-buddy. You definitely don't want to get to that point. But I think having a really good team vibe, if you watch, they have all different handshakes and stuff in Liquid. And I think that's really cool because if he has a good relationship... No, like, I think the relationship with the players is very important because he can cheer them up. He knows what's wrong with them. It's good to actually spend time with them outside of the game because you get a better idea of what their personality is like. Someone like a Liege, I can imagine, is very difficult to manage. And if you know how to cheer him up in the middle of the game, you know how to make a silly joke or something, and you know that's going to perk him up and he's going to start fragging, it's always a positive.
I mean, I think I saw it. I don't know if it was... I think it might have been on Liquid's YouTube channel, whatever it was when they had a camera like in the team huddle. I think it was and you got to see how he communicates with them after they lost a map, and there was a raised voice, and it was stern. It was like you could see there was a real shift into kind of coach mode from lounging at the Mykonos beach with them. I think it's very clear that coaches can separate, and I think it's an interesting discussion to have. And actually, talking of coaches, Kane is still not on the server, and he has been given, I think, about 3 more minutes before they just jump in without him.
All right, let me just check the time.
Actually, I have a stopwatch function on this.
Was your watch
my watch
in the suitcase
my
as
watch
well?
is in the suitcase.
Is it actually?
My watch is in the suitcase.
You always carry the valuables with you, Chad.
It's a MTMV watch. It looks nice, but it's cheap. I'm not a big watch man myself. I'm not like you, Yanko.
Hey man, what do you mean? I'm part of the
I was looking
gang.
at Yanko's watches here. Yours is lovely as well.
Thank you. I have 13 seconds. That's right. It has many
in an hour
functions.
or so, it's gonna the alarm is gonna pop off.
No, it already did that.
It's done that already.
Oh, it's
it's 2 minutes past 6
It used
every
to
day.
be it used to be at 8?
8:20.
Yeah. I remember on broadcast, I was like, oh, it's 8:20. Lovely, thanks, Alex.
I don't know how to turn it off, and I kind of like it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a reminder of what I'm doing at 6 o'clock every day.
But it's interesting, like the whole coach thing, and how Chad mentioning the bad guy for people who may be, like, what do you mean? They're professional players. They should be, you should just tell them what's wrong, and that's it, just like any other sport. But the thing is, in a team, things are not as clear-cut as you would expect. Obviously, a lot of these players are very young. There are a lot of egos in play as well, with some of the more experienced players, perhaps. So if you, as an in-game leader, tell one of your players, hey, you made a mistake, like we were 5v4, no reason for you to push more. It's like, what did you do in that round? Like, why didn't you get that kill or something? And then it just gets into shifting blame instead of just constructive criticism. So having a coach basically gives you someone on the outside who's not on the server. He's just looking. He's saying, "Hey guys, like this is what happened," and it needs to be important. He has to have the authority that he's not going to, take any side.
And we'll get to find out what they're going to be up to then. Kane is coaching NaVi, and they're jumping into their very first game now. We're heading over to your casters for HellRaisers NaVi on Overpass.
Hello, welcome to Pro League to me, because I'm here now.
How's it going?
Yeah, not bad.
Ready for a bit of Counter-Strike?
This cord is not. I really hate this.
Yeah,
it's got a coil, and it's
I've got a system. I hold
forward.
it. I'll make sure it's
That's very smart.
strapped
I never
behind
hold
me,
it.
anchored down,
I never hold it.
You never do. Well, it's going to be NaVi versus HellRaisers, a bit of a CIS battle coming up, if you will. Both of them changing roles up recently. We've obviously lost Guardian for NaVi, and we've got Simple taking out that role. Taking that what you will. Whether you think that's a good thing, I'm not so sure. I think he's more suited for a secondary AWP, in my opinion, having the freedom to do what he wants that kind of way, instead of having to have the strength of an anchor of an AWP usually.
I agree with that. I think that as well, he's so good with the AK and he's so explosive. To allow him to pick and choose his poison, if you will, is a lot better, I think, for a team, just because we know how unpredictable and how aggressive he can be. But yeah, I mean, it's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. I was doubtful of Device, for example, when he went on the primary op for Astralis, and he has proven me to be very wrong. So, with that said, maybe there's a chance Simple can do the same.
Well, we'll get into it. It is Overpass. I do favour NaVi as the heavy favourites here, but you never know. HellRaisers always seem to be a bit of a surprise package here in Pro League, and we'll get into it. It will be one smoke, couple of flashbangs, and 4 sets of armour for the HellRaisers, and we'll see whether they go towards the B side. Looking very likely here. Deadbox deploying the smoke, which goes in towards Heaven. Oh, did he mispro that? I think he did. That's not looking too good. Now the boost is looking very nice for Flamey here.
Very nice indeed, Flamey. Jumps up over, sees everyone inside of the site, but it won't do anything to deny the fact that they're going to get the bomb down as Angel pushes forward and catches out Flamey quite quickly. Woxic does the same. Woxic, remember, on the AWP, so kills early for him. Something to keep mental note of on the other side of things. On Navi's side, that is, if they want to track the economy effectively. It's just Edward and Simple that want back inside of the site with the bomb ticking, and they know exactly where they're coming from, so they all position accordingly, including that of Angel in the window. Dead Fox, that had to be better on the flank.
Yeah, well, the round should be safe either way. It's going to be a 3 versus 1. It will be Simple with no defuse gear here. An unsilenced USP, quite rare to see that, but he gave it his best shot. No kills picked up for him. Here's the AWP, like we said, save the armor. That's actually quite beneficial for him. And HellRaisers, after missing the smoke there, managing to overwhelm the B bomb site, take down the boost. I thought Edward was going to do better than that with Flamey, but didn't really work out for them whatsoever. No kill picked up, and HellRaisers is just storming through the monster tunnel, managing to run away with the round. Once the bomb was down, that was pretty much it. NaVi were done for. They will be force buying the second round here. NaVi with the scouts early on. Zeus will drop that towards Simple. Like I said, he saved his armor, so it keeps about $1,000 in the back pocket, so that's absolutely fine. And the rest of them with Deagles, CZs here. We know how strong the CZ is in the current meta. It's scary how prevalent it is in the current game. In terms of the HellRaisers play, I like this though. 4 rifles. You don't really see that too often these days. It's normally SMGs across the board.
Yeah, exactly that. No bonus this way. Forget the Christmas bonus.
Well, that's why you don't rush. You're going to play a very slow, methodical round, aim towards areas like long, have that range advantage, flash over, get 1 kill. That's always the first step, but they have got to go against Simple with the scout. There's the flash, and he gives away his position. Unfortunately, nothing gifted there.
Scout unsuccessful. To get the shots early. Were you a scout as a kid? Do you have that in the UK?
Yeah, we have Cubs, which is like
that's the one below scout.
I never did scouts though.
Okay, I think I was the same. My brother did scouts. Woxic takes down Edward. Decent start for the rifles, as there's really nothing to report going against them, including the scout shots continuing to not land. He says going to wait in behind smoke and be ready to go. On a little checks the corner. Watch the blinded. Whoa. Players of NaVi, they step inside of Flames. This is going to catch Flamey rotating back off of the Molotov, and then Zeus is sitting behind the truck with no better fate. Angel ready for the flank. Seized goes down. No guns to be grabbed on exit, and Simple wants to try and save the scout if he can. In fact, okay, I thought he was going to look for a cheeky knife. Unsilenced USP.
Nothing really to write home about there for NaVi. A little bit of damage inflicted. That's about it, though. Like we said, HellRaisers nice and slow, methodical towards long. Push Simple back with the flashbangs. Execute onto the side, no problem whatsoever. Nice Molotovs, flashbang combo coming in as well. You sort of see he's burning alive. And no kill picked up for NaVi.
Type 1 in the chat if you're disappointed Simple didn't go for the knife.
I think we always want to see him go for the knife.
Exactly.
It's his favourite weapon.
It's my favourite weapon.
5 USPs now for NaVi. A couple of flashbangs. To me, that suggests like push middle or towards short on B. Maybe try and get an opening pick. So far, so good for the HellRaisers. Just a note as well, if you're just joining us, Dead Fox is no longer the AWP for this side. It is going to be Woxic. Yes, and that's a bit strange for me. We discussed this before the game started. Like, Dead Fox, before, he was always the talking point of this team. Like, if he turned up with the AWP, they would win games, right? They could be a world-class side. We saw them get to top 4, for another example, a Star Ladder this year. And we thought that would be something that will be kind of continuing for this team throughout their lifespan. But now he's just a rifler, and he's
just a rifler.
Just hardly convincing is what I mean. Like, he doesn't really set the scoreboard on fire like he did with the AWP, but apparently he doesn't really feel comfortable.
Do you think it's Voxic, by the way?
Yes, that's what we and Lauren discussed. I think it sounds cooler when you say Voxic.
I think Voxic sounds cooler.
We had the same discussion last week.
Oh, wow. Sorry, I wasn't listening.
But like Voxic does sound a bit lame, doesn't it? Voxic sounds cool.
Yeah, Voxic just like, yeah. There's nothing there. I like Voxic.
Yeah, we'll do that.
We can bring back the Vox M&R.
No, please no.
I'm sure Chad's loving it. The thought of it, at least. The thought of Dead Fox, though, being on a rifle is encouraging if it's any good as his SMG. As he finds 2 quick kills, Voxic will add one to his tally on the AK and follow it up with a second on Zeus. Try and get the extra money for planting the bomb. Doesn't quite do it.
It's only $300.
It's $300 to an opera, though, Hank.
It's true. But he has the AWP regardless. He brings it out. And we'll have a look at the CT buy as well. Simple does have the AWP. Like we said in the second round, it was Zeus that dropped in the scout, so he still had $1,000 to work with there. And he'll have body armor, not a huge deal, but there is an Gilil up against him as well. I assume he has to go a little bit aggressive here, and he does indeed. He goes towards the connector. Knows he probably has to find the first kill here, considering they have so little utility and no defuse kits to work with. So Edward, aggressive as well, trying to watch his teammates back. He holds towards the party area. And I'll have a look at the HellRaisers setup. Very slow right now. They know the money's going to be weak for NaVi after force buying the second. Bleed out with the little utility they have. And allow Voxic to potentially find an opening pick here. Simple did go towards the connector, found nothing, falls back towards the A site, and Angel with connector control right now.
It's a great emphasis on the V.
I know,
I'm
like trying that.
That was very good. Good delivery, strong enunciation.
Ooh, Flamey. Okay, he's pushed Monster.
He's got tons of information. Only thing he has to worry about is that exact position by which it's being spammed, and they'll hear the AK down at the bottom in the stairwell, and as a result of it, they'll post up inside of B. They won't get overzealous and rotate to a 4-1 on Flamey's push. They're in good position to deal with the attack on A, should it continue to be set up and ready. In fact, look at Flamey. He's all the way around to the T stairs. So at any second, he's going to walk out behind them and have backs exposed, and he could even go for trigger discipline exactly for that. All Simple has to do is hold them off, and the AWP knows that as well, so he doesn't need to get too aggressive. Tagged up through the wall. Best bet to fall back as Flamey continues forward. Continues with 2 vision at least of 2. Misses the shots, though, thank God. Flamey couldn't quite turn fast, or excuse me, Woxic couldn't quite turn fast enough as Flamey does at least get a shot, goes down the end, but Edward finds 2 more and sees that all the information to rotate over and makes it work.
Well, NaVi do win the round there. Simple are taking all the aggro away. Flamey, great map control there. Pushes towards Munster, finds absolutely nothing. HellRaisers suddenly aware that was a possibility, but the timing's not really working out in their favor. You can see this nice little crossfire they had set up towards the playground. That's all we're going to look at, though. Just want to see a screenshot. That's fine. But 3-1. NaVi posts their first round, a very important one, especially on the CT side after force buying in the second. You want to make sure you have the AWP staying up and still have a lot of reset potential here, but it does avoid the 5-0. We have got a boost here. This is... I don't mind this at all. We know I hate the jump on this side of the map, but if you have the boost, you actually have the advantage. The T comes out, especially the AWP. And nothing really picked up from that just yet. Still a 5-on-5. NaVi still exploring the idea of pushing towards short. 2 players in the connector there as well. Issa, certainly aware of this prospect, watching the door like a hawk. Number 5, and HellRaisers, in terms of their cash, they are fully invested into this round. Voxic with no utility to speak of, so it does paint a picture as to where they're at right now. Big round for them. If they can win this, it will reset NaVi and get them back into the game financially.
Aggressive. Teammate lost inside of the smoke. Had to back off, consider the alternate angle, and that's exactly when Angel came through. And despite having a lineup toward the monster, Zero cannot stay alive long enough. It's Simple. Has to hold from the pillar. He goes down as well. Bomb plant in for Voxic. Voxic Eminor.
Yeah, he does indeed do a good job. Wow. The AWP doesn't have to find the frags. It's Issa with 2 AK kills there. Pretty basic stuff from HellRaisers. Just a B split. Opening picks coming in, just trading effectively. Very simple execution. And
Hank, I'm sorry, it's hot in here. I'm pulling a Chad.
You've got you taking the trousers off as well?
Yeah, just a bit. Just let it breathe.
Just let some air down there. Lord knows it needs it. It will be... Edward finding 1 more frag here. Like we said, this is a harsh reset as well. So the NaVi boys, yes, they won the last round with, I think, 3 players alive, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed, they did. You can see the money won't be great. No AWP recovered as well. You're probably going to be thinking about forcing into this one with the M4 saved. You double eco regardless. You might as well go for it. Drop a UMP. Edward potentially even an M4. That's an option. What are they going to go for here? Could go for the very conservative approach. It'll be a double eco out. Not purchasing a single thing. That's not what I expected, I have to be honest. A lot of teams would just force into this one and take the eco on the next. But got the M4 of Edward and the default USPs here, 4-1. And it will be Angel. Just a Glock, potentially? All right, B-Rush, why not? Let's get in there and find the headshots.
Flamey's not even ready for it. Flashes in. Quick entrance from Dead Fox. Issa wraps around, seized is found. Voxic finds Zeus above in the window, and Zero's ready for the entry in backside of the tunnels. Edward's the only one with a gun still carried over, as well as the armor and the kit, so look for him to try and save is Simple. We'll do what he can to get exit kills. All we need is Angel and Zero to get a kill, and we have a team ace.
And we love to see those. Oh, Edward, of course, trying to save that M4. That's all they really brought into this round. It looks like he'll be able to do that successfully as well. Currently holding towards playground, making his way towards long. Very simple approach there from HellRaisers. I have to say, I am so scared when teams call that against their potential eco or a force buy. You don't know what they've got. They've saved weaponry. It's called the rush B. He'll be very brave to try and pull that one off. If it goes successfully, it looks fine. And it's like, Henry, what are you worried about?
They always rush B. It's a
Yeah,
CIS
it's true.
team.
Yeah, I didn't consider
Question for you, Hank. Now that I've joined in about halfway or a little beyond halfway in the season, I apologize to all the regular viewers for not being here. Obviously, I had a lot going on. I had some weddings and some events and driving a car or attempting to. Who's been the surprise package this year? Player and team. Give me one of each.
I think Big have surprised people with the form they're showing so far. Obviously did well at the major, but I don't think anyone continued to see them actually get to like top 4 where they are right now. In terms of player, I'm not sure. I have to think about it and get back to you. I think Fnatic look very good, but we should probably get into this one.
I was going to say, yeah, think about the player because the action's heating up. Gun round obviously on hand, and finally Simple gets an opening pick on the AWP. Edward is there to support, but he may not have to as Simple finds yet another on Issa. Smoke down, and Edward wants to push in behind the doorway. Zero won't have much to work with. Bombs dropped at the top of the stairs at Connector as a result of second of Simple's kills. Deadfox, however, has found space. That's going to cut out NaVi. Gets all 3. Down from long, and no one's even watching it. Massive mistake, and a hole in the defense that turns the round completely on its head.
Yeah, this is looking really poor from NaVi now after having such a strong start. A 3-on-2 situation, no kits, and Deadfox looking for his fourth. Lovely stuff. Executing Flame Eat towards the bank area, and it will be seized with not really much to work with here. It was looking like such an idyllic situation for NaVi. 2 simple kills to open things up with the AWP, then it all falls apart. The backstab from Deadfox. Oh my goodness, looking for the ace now. Will be seized towards CD Spawn, but hasn't really got a hope to do anything with this. Trying to farm some cash with that UMP, and this has gone from bad to worse for the NaVi side.
Yeah, money is in the bin, as you would say. Deadfox,
the ace.
That's not bad at all. That not only just an ace that completely turned a round down after they lost 2. Simple finally got the early aggression, and he just walks in. Replay the last shot, but the first 3 were incredible.
I wanted to see the whole thing. Where's the sustenance? Wow.
It's in the air, Henry.
6-1. And that's a nightmare for NaVi. This is a really difficult game to recover now. You're on the CT side, you're the better team, and losing rounds like that, that's a little bit shocking. I still haven't been convinced by this new look NaVi. I don't think the addition of Zeus was going to be their savior. I think it's more of a knock to lose the world's best AWP.
I'm already missing Gambit more and more. Although, to be fair, they're
still looking
sharp, yeah.
Still looking very
They've
good.
got Hobbit, that's why.
Yep.
Anything's possible when you have the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, sure, why not? No force buy here. Oh, we got Simple with some head armor, surprisingly.
I really wish, for Hobbit's sake, they gave out championship rings for the major, and then he could have had his precious.
They do that in Call of Duty.
They do that in the Super Bowl, the NHL, the NBA, any of the real sports, and Call of Duty wants to be one of those, although it needs to remember that it's not. Flash into the bathrooms. Is it going to check it? So to his teammate, Deadfox, beside him. So the reset in, HellRaisers on a 6-1 lead on Overpass, a map that in the past, not necessarily recent past, but in the past was one of their best.
Yeah.
There's teams that have improved. Exactly. Yeah, well, I would go back as far as a year to say that they were one of the dominant. In fact, you could go all the way back when the map first came into the pool. They were probably the first team to kind of stake a claim to Overpass.
I think it was because they were so slow on this map. Like no one knew how to handle their executions. They had Guardian as well. They'd base their entire round around him, right? It would just be, okay, everyone hold up in the default. We'll go very slow map control. We'll get Guardians hit every single shot as we push up and get the CTs back there, and that's why they look so successful. Their full executions looked amazing, and yes, that was a very clean round for HellRaisers. That's much better than the B rushes. Go together, refrag, drop the smokes in, a few Molotovs, and now we have another full buy for NaVi. In terms of loss bonus, 4th stage, looking for maximum in the next, but the money really is getting there for HellRaisers now, looking very good here. I have to say, as we called out Deadfox at the start for not potentially being a world-class rifler, he has one of the sickest rounds of the game so far. As we enter round number 9. No double AWP set up here for NaVi just yet. Simple has been showing some good form with the AWP, some good opening frags, but not yielding any rounds just yet.
Seized quick to get by the Molotov on bags. They won't be able to push construction as a result, but they'll set for the monster play. But will it be a monster play, Henry?
I'm not sure it will be. He's been in pretty poor form recently. As Alex hinted to, I've not been a fan of his performances recently.
You're just a bully.
I just think like if anyone was going to go over in the team, he was.
Well, he was gone.
Yeah.
He was gone, and then brought back again, resuscitated, as many would say. And if you were going to resuscitate someone,
sure, with
a defibrillator, you would need electronic.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be good.
See where I'm going with that?
Or the kiss of life.
Sadokist?
Yeah.
I'm on the team, is that what you're saying?
That's basically what I'm hinting at.
Yes, I'm in.
The announcement will be coming this week. It won't.
It's true.
I know I have to say that these days.
I'm joining NaVi TV. Yeah. We're going back to the NIP TV days.
Right then. Wow. Still another week by here for NaVi, all things considered. They only have one kit and they have no utility really to speak of right now. Seas gets Molotov to the face. In terms of the map control, it's looking pretty decent right now. Deadfox once again all the way up long. It's Issa to find the first frag of the AK-47. Deadfox, he just doesn't care, just walking into the site, helping himself to it. Nails the shot as well. This is looking too easy for the HellRaisers side. Zeus gets one in return, but that's just a consolation frag, I'm afraid. Flamey now in another 3 versus 1. They're getting picked apart. NaVi, look, very amateur right now, I have to say. This is poor from them. Not really showing us the flamboyance you need on the CT side of a world-class side. No one's pushing in. No one's really finding opening frags. They're sitting back in the crossfires, which is fine, but not really hitting the shots. And HellRaisers just dissecting them one by one. Sees, like I said, his performances have been very poor as of late. 1 for 8. And it's just another bad one to put on the board for him.
Toxic.
It's just a shame, right? Normally we've had all of these different teams, like Fnatic have looked much better since the lineup change. FaZe have looked much better. Every team that seems to have changed lineups right now seems to be getting better and better. NaVi, though, we thought, okay, Zeus coming back in is what they needed, some structure. I really do think losing Guardian's a massive asset for them. Like, Simple, he can be one of the world's best riflers. You're absolutely fine with him. Forcing him to the AWP, I know he can be very decent and explosive with the AWP. I don't think that's enough to have a consistent world-beating side right now. They'll have the odd game where he goes absolutely lights out, right, and drop 35 frags with an AWP. That's great. But I'd rather him on a rifle. I want him in the AK in his hands. I want him to be making massive plays.
Well, how soon, without a honeymoon period, do you wait before you say, no, this will work, and then it's too late and you make another change? I think
Seas goes out and we bring in a world-class AWPer. And
really?
I think that would be my call. If this doesn't work out,
not another world-class rifler, because the rifling power hasn't been as potent either, you could argue, and certainly don't have rifles this round, and not with Flamey going down after getting just the 1 kill. Flamey hasn't exactly had the freedom he's had before in the past either. Edward, consistent, but not really a star player, more of a support role, as we dub that position of effect or goodwill, whatever you would have it. Edward and Simple this time are the 2 that remain, both with head armor, both with deagles. Simple's quite swift with one, but not being really given a chance to do anything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in this game, 8-1 is about to turn to 9 for HellRaisers.
Indeed. Yeah, this is, to be fair, it was a rough round for NaVi. The one they did have that 5-on-3 advantage. They didn't have everything covered, and Deadfox completely ravished them from long A. But 9-1, this is looking very rough. This could be an open shut case on Overpass. Still, believe it or not, quite early days. It's 9-1 right now, but they could come back and not win the half and bring it back to 9-6 still, and that's still a fine half. It's not ideal, but it's still something to work with here. Maximum loss bonus now, so they should have decent money, as you can see, about 6k per player, so that's okay. But yeah, they just need to start finding some frags here. Zeus and Seized, always going to be the weakest fraggers on this side, I would say, but they need to start stepping up right now. Here we go, AWP come out once again. The fuse kits should be available. Edward purchases 1, so at least we've got that to work with here. And Simple, he'll be heading towards middle once again. He has flirted the idea of going towards connector. He won't be doing that this time. He holds towards middle. Edward watches his back.
Simple looks out to the stairs, but he has to be cautious of the fact that Deadfox has already crossed. He didn't have the information, so he'll fall away accordingly. In the meantime, they'll group with Bomb on the HellRaisers side toward the bottom of the stairs. Flamey gets found by Voxic, not even looking or considering it.
Why is he there, though?
No one's
so exposed.
So am I right now, as I mentioned. It's warm in here.
It is very warm. But 5-on-4, and there's just no refrag potential there. There's no utility deployed. They haven't got a boost looking towards short. It's like Flamey was not even looking at the connector door. I'm just not sure what they're hoping to get for it. This is better. A boost comes in. This boost can be very beneficial. At least they're now watching a particular area, but they will get nothing for them. Now they need to work out how do they get back into this round. Zero holds towards the B side and finds another easy kill. Sees with his ass sticking out. of the bomb site just gives himself up there. Like this is just looking shocking from NaVi, I have to say. Here we go. Simple though. He's always going to be decent, isn't he? AWP in hand, finds the first shot, finds a way to reposition on the bomb side as well.
Shot Simple. Well, you need a world-class opera. You need at least a round or two in this game. That's for sure. Simple shuts down on entry and brings it back to a 3-versus-3. This will thwart off the offense and force them, funnel them over to B, where Zero has gotten Edward and opened this site down to the pit side of the water. Zeus goes in, gets found by the same gentleman who doesn't do it gently at all. It's Simple that now needs an ace and already looking like he's going to back off the save and not make this now double digits to 1.
Yeah, this is just not NaVi I've seen before. This is... I'm not sure if they've been practicing tonight or them warmed up, but this is just looking horrible. They look disjointed and uninspired, and Flamey goes down to a really interesting push short, but YC's got his back sticking out that sort of angle. It's like he's unaware that he could be seen there. It's just the easiest play. You probably can't believe your luck there with the T walking up towards short. I think he was planning to flash out and try and be a little bit cheeky there, but he's just got his angles horribly wrong. 10-1 now. And it looks like it has to be another eco here. Maximum loss spend is not enough to actually provide full buys every round like he can on the T side of the bomb going down. So Shotgun CZ's potentially a level 1, 11-1 scoreline here. This is not being the most exciting game for your first visit to this season of Pro League, Matt. I'm sorry about that.
You know what? It's all right. You got to work me in slowly, babe.
Yeah, I get told that a lot, actually. Well, here we go. CZ speeded 50s. And HellRaisers looking good. No B rushes here, just slowly but surely getting some map control. I'm liking this.
So he's doing the jump, the old jump check that we hate so much. There's a bullet. Zims past. Zooms?
Zooms past, yeah.
Whizzes past.
Whizzes past is good.
Simple. UMP should get one, but Angel gets underneath him, takes a lot of damage. Distracts enough, however, for the trade to get brought back in the favor of Edward on this Swag 7. Stuff we all get. Swag. Man.
That's in the office, isn't it?
Yeah, that's correct.
Stuff we all get.
It's not bad.
Well, they're doing a pretty good job here. They managed to find 2 kills. Angel and Issa going down, but Voxic, who has been a thorn in the NaVi side, he's still alive here. Spots the head of one and they jump up behind the bomb site here. And they will be allowing Zeus to find a free kill. Don't want to do that. Very key position. He's got the AWP out, looking for a no-scope here. Probably knows he's done for. Can't hit it just yet. Surely that's the chance to take him down, but they're giving him a few more seconds to live here. But now down to the 2-on-2. There is a CT in the back, though. This is the kill that pretty much decides the round. Zero nails it. And now it's at the Flamey. Can he do anything about this? Apparently he can. Time ticking away now. And it will be Flamey to pick things up. Lovely work of the UMP. And finally, a lifeline there for NaVi.
10-2. They find their second round of the game. Hard to say, hard to imagine on the CT side. That's where we are, but they only pick up number 2. And HellRaisers with lots of money, therefore, will be set and ready for a reset. A double-op setup as well. For NaVi, it's Seized and Simple. Seized heads over toward B. Simple goes aggressive toward the fountain. Smoke down. Bench jump? Maybe not. Gap in the smoke because it landed just a step shy. Perhaps that was the discouraging factor. Perhaps.
Double-op setup, right? Seized was the secondary AWP when Guardian was in the lineup. At one point, when Guardian didn't show to defend, he had to be the primary AWP. He was actually in pretty good form then. We didn't see much from the right from him so far, but AWP, promising position as well, pushed up towards Monster. And they need to win this round now, but you can't lose it. They did win an eco before, but still fully invested into this round. Everyone under $0. This kill, very important. Angel just eviscerates Edward there. 5-on-4. Zeus looking for the recovery, but nothing done whatsoever. A bit of damage, but another 5-on-3. It's looking too easy for HellRaisers in these duels. The aim's just not there for NaVi right now.
Certainly not. Simple. Heads back to the site. Jumps up exactly at the time a flash is thrown. Sees them cross, but the jump cross sets Voxic in a position by which he is more prepared than Simple and takes him down. So Voxic looking okay in the AWP. The topic for this entire game is the op.
Yeah, that absolutely. No, like just the key storylines for NaVi. Guardian gone. gone to FaZe, found amazing success. The first event wins New York, okay, of
Second
course.
event, Malmo, they were not
That's
so
right.
successful.
That is true. I'll give you that. But New York, like, when they had time to get things together, he wins back-to-back New York events. The only events he's ever won, really. Well,
and one of the most dominant wins in a Premier event we've ever seen based on round difference and totals. Can the form continue for FaZe?
I think so. I think they get better and better. I think they're scary how much talent they've got. Like, there's just 2 jewels alone. If you get a bit more time to work on the strategies there and get the map pulled a bit deeper, like,
there's only one team I would say that's more talented in all of CS:GO, Henry, and that's you and I as a casting duo. Seized takes down Angel.
It's certainly an iconic duo.
As it goes to a 4 versus 2, NaVi's still trying to hold on to weapons, unfortunately.
But we have got the Creamy Bears coming at us.
That's an interesting out of context statement. Yeah, let's go back word for word and dissect that one, shall we? Flamey tries to pick up at least the op to carry over, does that, but not much to salvage when you're down 11-2 now and you've got no money heading into round 14.
You just have to buy here.
Simple does have the best spawn possible for the op, so they'll give it to him.
But what we got here? Oh, that was quite a nice shot. That's Seeds with the AWP as well. You do hate to see that. There's no point getting exit kills there. He might as well just be like on the other side of the map hiding. He's not going to remove any money from the HellRaisers side. That was a really poor decision, I guess. I don't think he's expecting that sort of shot, to be honest. But B-Rush just get in there and get stuck in. There will be all 5 players committed, and Zeus does find something with the CZ here, but it might not be enough. Deadfox answers back, but Seed now is starting to see some frags from him. Needs to find a few more, though, and it won't happen. 3-on-2. There's still a chance here for the NaVi side. Simple with the AWP. He has won crazier rounds than this before, but hasn't really got much to work with.
Toxic on the site. Simple gonna creep in behind it. Monster. No one looking this direction. That's a free and easy kill. Not even any consideration for it. You would have thought they would have, but they can play it off information. They know where Simple was. Give the man too much to work with. Deadfox shuts it down. Another round for HellRaisers.
Comes down to the 1v1, but unless the round gets on the board, it doesn't really matter. As I mentioned, the C's going for that exit frag doesn't really make any sort of difference to the landscape around number 15. You can see they've got 5 digits on 2 players, 3 players even after the reinvestment for round number 15. Oh, Simple. He definitely had a shout at winning that one. Getting down to the 1v1, and here's the final round at 12-2. Desperately need this last round. It has to be an amazing call from Zeus here. Maybe it's a B stack trying to hold off that B rush, but that's not coming in this time from HellRaisers. It will be the B stack. 2 players pushing off towards short. They just need to find frags here with these UMPs. CZs and Deagles as well. A few smokes, no kits, and this is looking very likely to be the 13-2 first half from the HellRaisers. I didn't see this whatsoever. I don't think the Betway guys did either. This is looking shambolic for NaVi.
Shambolic. Get in the corner, Flamey. Just sit in the corner behind the fence. He wants more than that. He going for it. Gets all the way up to the T-stairs. If he can continue on fast enough, he may get behind them. The problem is that range doesn't favor him with the UMP. In the meantime, HellRaisers will start to push toward the A site. It's seized in the bathrooms, essentially alone. He's got 2 on the A site, well back, but can't really do anything to support him. Does get the bomb down from the hands of Voxic, but had to know surely that Zero was going to respond on the AK and manages to do so swiftly. It'll open up a gap in the defense for Angel to advance. But still, we wait for Flamey's arrival. Angel's considering it, but making noise when he does so, still gets Flamey off guard as he goes back for the bomb. Flamey realized bomb was there and couldn't do anything with it. Simple, unfortunately, is about to go down because he walks into basically the barrel of a gun.
Yeah, not really much he could do there. Had to make a decision, make a play. Not one that worked out for him, though. Zeus at 21 HP, 4-on-2 situation, a 13-2. Feels like it's a lock-in now. Zeus and Edward. Zeus to defend as well, like we said, the low HP. If he gets 1 kill, I'll be impressed, but that won't be happening. Deadfox takes him down. Edward from the connector. 4 seconds, that could be enough. I thought the bomb was about to be denied there, but it wasn't. And it will be 13-2. So that's a really disappointing showing there from NaVi in the first half. Couldn't get rolling whatsoever. Won 1 little pistol round there with the anti-eco, but apart from that, they fell apart completely. Deadfox completely ravished them. And we'll take a break in the second half and see whether they can bounce back. Maybe they can.
you're a romantic and an optimist, Henry, because you said maybe they can. I'm not sure that I believe Setch is in the cards, but we'll see how it all unfolds.
I'm just trying to maintain the viewer base, you know, make sure we have some storylines to follow as we go into the second half. I would say it's probably unlikely that NaVi pull this one back, but maybe they can win a pistol, and maybe they do have a chance, at least making it a competitive scoreline instead of the complete battering it's been so far. Will be half number 2 coming in. We do switch things over, of course. HellRaisers gone to the CT side, the more favoured side, which is the scary thing for NaVi. They got 2 rounds there on the CT side. They should have got more. I think it was just that one round where Deadpool's got the ace that just really tilted
you're
NaVi
right.
up the planet.
They had a 5-on-3, I think it was at the time. Yeah. Simple got 2 quick kills to start it off. Everything looked quite good. And then Dead Fox walks in, shuts them down, causes a reset, and half fell apart. That may have tilted them as well.
That's what I mean, yeah. I think that was just the end of it for them. They just couldn't recover from that. They never really had money from that point as well. That would have been a clean round for them if Dead Fox just didn't make that round happen. Like, he was just by himself towards long. Did that a few times, actually. Just the snake in the grass, or the fox in the grass, if you will.
I like foxes.
Yeah, they're cute.
They are until they bite you.
Yeah,
and
nice to look at. Don't go too near them, though.
That's why they call women foxy.
Yeah, I guess that works.
In a way.
We have got a little bit of a delay. I'll have a look at the scoreboards while we're here, shall I? I can't, because ESL doesn't show us until the half begins. So forget that idea. The match is going to start. I can just tell you the buys. That'll be much more interesting. It will be NaVi on the T side. Like we said in the first half, it seems to do favour towards B. We haven't seen much of a change in the meta, Matt. We have had a Glock change while you've been away.
It's true. I wish it was back to the way it was in beta.
Well, it was just a railgun, running gun, and no one could win a CT pistol.
Yeah, and you put it on burst, and it was just instant headshot.
We haven't seen much of a shift, though, in the game. But I'm interested to see how that develops. Portraits of armor here, seized with the smoke, HE grenade, and the flashbang. They go towards long, interesting enough. And there will be Zeus with the bomb just running around the corner, and Voxic to hold him off with that P2000. Doesn't connect anything just yet.
Doesn't connect, but NaVi have some control or access to long. Shots whistle off from a silenced USB in the hands of Angel. As Edward goes back around toward the bathroom, still have a Glock to work with, as we mentioned. Taking their sweet time to control the map, but they will slowly get to a position by which B is accessible. Sees thinks of smoking, but then rather goes for the flash.
One flash in, take a deep breath, hope we can find the first kill in. It's looking good. The Glocks, though, can't find the damage required just yet. Simple does take Angel down eventually, but Zero's there. Looking very strong this game, and Issa chimes in as well, denies the bomb going down. 4-on-2 situation. It should be planted here, but Voxic, he doesn't say no. He does find the kill, but the bomb plant goes down. That should be the round for HellRaisers, but at least we've got something to work with here for NaVi. It's not all grim. They can probably buy for the next round, Matt. They pretty much have to now.
Absolutely have to.
Yeah, so they have to go in. They can get, like, maybe Galils, and armor, you can see they have about, just under 3k. They've got a few more kills. It'd be a lot more beneficial for them. But they can get, like, UMPs, armor, maybe some CZs by the looks of things. They're opting for the pistols and utility instead of the firepower.
Well, the firepower would be...
Maybe there's some UMPs coming in now.
I was going to say, yeah, required, I think, because of the range of Overpass. You can execute B, perhaps, without, but getting map control is another story. As they get set and ready. Tech 9, Edward, and Zeus on CZ, as you mentioned, the rest go for the UMPs. Do or die time, HellRaisers trying to find map point in just this round 18, if I do the math correctly. Took me a minute. Got there in the end.
We always do. Well, HellRaisers almost certain they'll be a force buy up against them this time. They do opt for some Famises, a couple of M4s as well, so they want to close things out right here, right now. Angel trying to find his first peg. He will be backed up by a teammate as well, but it's going to be Zeus to find the first frag. That's Dead Fox going down, but Angel will be backed up by Voxic, who's not messing around whatsoever. That's a really nice play from him. And it's going to be HellRaisers with another round on the board, potentially map point here as well. Simple and another 3 versus 1. Has got time to work with, but only the UMP in hand.
Goes aggressive. Angel's in the corner. He's trying to get him out. Somehow could get him with the flash out, but unfortunately there's 2 other players waiting for his exposure, and they will punish him for indecency in public as it goes 15-2. Map point for HellRaisers. I think it's public indecency is how it actually gets written up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know anything about it, so.
No. You've always been very well behaved. Well, Zeus.
An inspiration, some would say.
Yeah, an icon. It was going to be the first kill for Zeus there. I thought they had a chance, but Voxic shutting it down. He has proven to be quite the player for HellRaisers, I have to say. I'm interested to see how he'll develop as the season goes on. Maybe see him in a couple of rounds. But we'll get into potentially the last round here. Pistols and a UMP. If I'm NaVi, I'm just letting this one slip by. I'm not going to be too worried about Overpass anymore. You know this one's over. The way they played tonight, it's been very flat. And we're looking to map the other two for sure. But here we go then. A chance at least. They have one smoke, make it two. No flashbangs. And one UMP.
Angel starts to put the nails in the coffin, line it with some roses. A bed of roses, perhaps a bed of thorns, but it's rather bitter for NaVi as they are about to potentially suffer 16-2, although I say that, and Simple finds kills on a UMP, his second in the round, which finally Zero equals back and makes it a 2-on-2. Simple at 12 HP, still gets the better of Issa trying to rotate in behind, and that'll open up the map to them, but Zero spots Zeus, and Zeus has to be very careful. He's not the one with the bomb. Simple is, if he buys time, it'll draw it out to Simple's advantage. However, he's on 12 HP.
Oh.
And no, we are not done just yet, are we? I'm confused.
No, we're not. I think we're good.
We even went into a replay. Simple has faked everyone. That's why we went to the replay. He was faking even us. As he comes back over toward A, knowing well that Zero's going to anticipate him to be elsewhere, but 12 HP as soon as he plants, he sits, ooh, I was going to say in the open. He actually gets the advantage of knowing exactly where Zero's playing from, and he's going to get the headshot as well to keep us alive for at least one more round.
At least one more round. There it is. Simple manages to juke out the HellRaisers there with 12 HP. I'm not sure how he survived for so long there. He should have been taken down from that connector play, but there it is, and HellRaisers have to take an eco here and wait for their time to close this one out. Round number 4. And here's the replay from Simple's POV. Nice work. One bullet would have done it, but Zero couldn't pull it off. And yeah, might as well take the full eco. No reason to force by here. Let's close it out quickly. Not going to try and do it with the pistols. Let's get those rifles out and do it properly. So NaVi, you're going to need 12 rounds in a row here to force overtime. Very, very unlikely. I wonder what the odds would be on that right now, but for now, HellRaisers is trying to do whatever they can. Voxic does find a decent position here. Push the connector and might get behind them, but they are pretty committed towards the middle. He might get one kill. Maybe Zeus gets dropped to the bomb here.
Oh, Voxic, what have you done? What have you done? You've gotten the bomb. That's what you've done. Not sure where next to look. Molotov off behind him, but Seized is down below, and Dead Fox is immediately above. Good pre-fire by Seized. Otherwise, he would have been found out as well. Fox still trying to create problems. Gets found in the end. And Edward takes out Angel, continues on, finds Zero. It's the beginning of a comeback, Hank.
Could be. It's the last remaining player here towards T-spawn. Deagle in hand, but I don't think we'll be getting much down here. It would be Edward with 3 kills. We do recover the AK-47. We are buying after the next round, I believe. I'll have a look. We'll have second stage lost betters. Oh, it would be a weak buy. It wouldn't. They saved the AK, maybe it's worth it. I would say taking that partial buy here. Just close it out properly with the orbs out, the rifles. Don't get yourself in financial turmoil. NaVi recovering that. It was a nice push. We have to say from Voxic to open things up with the CZ. Whipped the first shot a little bit, but got it eventually. Picked up the AK, but so many angles to look at. Got taken down, and NaVi with a very clean round. Simple, just to note, 16 kills. Seed 5, Zeus 6, Flamey 7. Another quiet game from Flamey as well. Seems like Edward and Simple have been the kind of starring acts recently. So gets one, and that's all we'll get. Can't save the AK-47. That should suggest we have another save by here. Maybe just some pistols and body armor, but that'll be about it.
We go a little further. A chance for NaVi to warm up and get ready for map 2.
So CZ's across the board. Apart from this, it gets to the PG-50. One smoke, and Angel does get the body armor, but this should be another clean round for NaVi. Like you said, get warm up. I don't think they played any scrims before this game because it looked shocking in the first half. I think they've just gone into the server cold.
Well, if they got onto the Silver Cold, they'd be the best in the world.
Yeah, I see what you did there. Not your best work, but I can see what you did.
Don't have to knock them out every time.
Yeah, that's true.
Trades are even so far as HellRaisers, although they go down now, bring it to a 1 versus 2. It almost was slightly better, but Dead Fox will run back, grab an AK, no armor, and try and wrap all the way around to the B site. If seized, overcommits to a push. He's on 19 HP. Could make things interesting. However, Dead Fox is up shit creek without a paddle because he doesn't have a kit.
Not really much you can do about this, but saving the AK would be something. There was a bit of a chaotic exchange here towards middle and long, but HellRaisers getting 3 kills. Give the signal to NaVi just to run in towards B. They spotted absolutely everyone there. And Dead Fox with his AK can't really do too much about this. He does go towards the monster tunnel looking for any exit frags here. But I just think that saving the AK will be fine. It's a very strong weapon to have on the CT side. Can hold more audacious angles, go for the one taps instead of the double dink required from the M4s. Dead Fox, 19 kills. He's got the most kills, but bottom of the scoreboard. So, go figure.
Yeah, that is kind of interesting. No bomb plants.
I think it's because the ACA resets the actual score on the right-hand side.
Oh, you're right, mate.
So
that's exactly what it is, yeah.
That's why he gets a bit wrecked there.
Gets a bit wrecked. Dead Fox, big fan of Simple. Battery just picked up Simple's rifle, who's a big fan of himself.
Double AWP setup, just to notice on the T side of Overpass. Sees, I'm not sure that's the right call. It's an interesting one. I think he'd have an AK in spawn, so he could potentially fall back. I did see an extra one being juggled around, but maybe not. Goes towards shore here, looking for the boost shot. Not going to find anything just yet. And this is it now. HellRaisers looking to close things out right here, right now. We definitely had a chance, but lost to the SMGs and CZs, especially Simple's UMP. 12 HP, managed to get 3 kills with that. Simple edges towards middle. They still believe they can do this. They're looking like a stronger unit right now after winning a few rounds. Flashes towards long. Vox 6 staying up there. That's kind of brave, I have to say.
Yeah.
Easy shot though. Takes on Edward.
They won't expect him to be there at all after that flash. So a great play from Vox 6-0. Takes down Seized, and we may finally have what we've been waiting for.
That's just the AWP running up short, by the way. That's like what's the play there? He just ran up short by himself with the AWP. Got his head blown off, and this is no one for a refrag. No flash used. Just a little bit lackluster, but there you go. 5-on-3.
Simple's going to start to move. Molotov down, he'll have to sit further back. Voxic continues to be impressive as he gets flamey. It's just Zeus and Simple. If Zeus finds 1 kill, he could open up some space and draw some attention toward the front of the site, but Dead Fox position should be good enough. Although Zeus goes the other way. There's the trade we're waiting for. Bomb down, Simple. Even from here on an AWP, and I think already spotted by Angel, in fact was. It's a tough ask. Sits in the open, triangulated. He'll continue to push forward and vacate the premises of being open from long. I like that Angel has a knife out, but really, what do you expect? Although, Issa has lost track. Simple can't get it in one shot, can't find the deagle quick enough, and therefore Angel's there to trade. We end the game. Let's call it there. HellRaisers dominate NaVi.
They absolutely do. You always think Simple has a chance in this situation. He always seems to find something there, but it's a couple of shots for no death inflicted, and it will be a dominant performance there from the HellRaisers side. 16-5. NaVi looked so weak in the first half. It wasn't good enough, and I hope they can bounce back in round 2, because that is not the NaVi we've come to expect. And there it is. First map done and dusted map, as you would say. We'll throw it over to the analysts and see what they thought about that one.